I'm Logan Crawford, and right now on Spotlight, we're speaking with Roger Wellington Nason. He is an outstanding author who has once again ensnared readers with his mesmerizing historical fiction, Brotherhood of the Lion, a captivating tale of two orphan boys' magical adventure in an 11th century abbey. We are delighted to have Roger join us here today on Spotlight. We thank the folks at Good River Print and Media for helping us put him in the spotlight today. And we ask viewers like you to support writers like him by subscribing to our channel. Roger, thanks so much for being our guest today.
Thank you, Logan. Thank you for having me. I'm very happy to be here.
Oh, my pleasure. You must have quite an imagination to put together this tale. What is your inspiration for creating the world of the Brotherhood of the Lion and the characters of Remy and Andre?
Well, it's funny that particular story, it actually came to me in a dream, believe it or not.
Hmm.
I had a dream one night, and I'm one that doesn't usually remember dreams, and this one stuck with me, and I remembered it. I made some notes in the morning, and the more I started thinking about it, I was like, boy, that could make a good book.
Good
And
thing you
here we are.
really wrote it down. I mean, because I have a great wild dream, and then 15 minutes later, you can forget about it, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I wrote it down. Yeah. I to this day I keep a notepad by my bedside just in case.
Smart man, smart man. So you wrote it, it came to you in a dream. And why don't we give the big picture to the folks at home, what the book is basically about?
Sure. As you mentioned, it's a historical fiction novel that takes place in an abbey in 11th century France. It's about these two young boys, Andre and Remy, twin boys, disfigured boys, live a hard life, just being disfigured and in that day and age.
Hmm.
But they believe they are put here for a better purpose, for a purpose,
Right.
and their belief in magic leads them to uncover a secret hidden room within the walls of the abbey. And not only does that room give them powers, but it also transforms them into handsome, powerful beings. It's
Hmm.
something they are not accustomed to, but something they quite like. And through all this, they encounter their nemesis. They find out he is trying to take over the abbey, and they learn eventually all of France. And that's when they have to use their wits and their newfound powers to defeat their nemesis and save France.
Wonderful. It's kind of a classic tale of good versus evil in a
Yeah.
way, and magic thrown in there. And I love how you write about the Abbey. Did you do any research about them? I mean, you really create a visual picture for the folks who are reading it.
So yeah, I did a lot of research about that particular abbey that I wrote about. There was I picked a real abbey in a real town, and all of that. And so yes, I did my research on it, and I'm a bit of a history buff anyway, so I spent a lot of time reading about those eras and watching movies and things like that. So
Was it difficult, or how did you approach integrating magical elements into this historical fiction?
I, it just kind of flowed, I guess. That's you alluded to my imagination in the beginning, I guess, and I guess that's kind of where it came from. Like I said, I had the idea in a dream, and then I just started writing, and it just flowed.
Now, in your dream, were the orphan boys deformed as well?
Yeah, they
Yeah.
were. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you think that makes them more intriguing or relatable, or what aspects do they bring to the table because of their deformities?
Well, I think a few. I mean, yeah, I think they can be definitely relatable to people because I think everybody has something they aspire to be, and even if it's something unattainable, right?
Mm.
There's always something we want more, and that's what these boys wanted, and they got it, even when it was something we would consider unattainable.
Yeah. And they use their newfound powers for the greater good, which is a wonderful aspect of the story as well.
Yes, yeah. As a matter of fact, that's one of the so-called rules, I guess, is that the power has to be used for good.
Gotcha. Gotcha. And also, this is a coming of age story in some levels as well, right? Because of the age of the orphans.
yeah, that's they are trying to figure out life as well as everything else,
Yeah.
I suppose, at the same time. And as I mentioned, they felt that they were, destined for something more than a life of cleaning abbey floors and being mistreated.
Yeah. Now, I know it came to you in a dream, but what was it like actually writing it when it came to writing it? Obviously, there's a lot to flush out there once you start putting your fingers on that keyboard.
Yeah, well, once I did the research aspect of it, and I actually just started doing the writing, it actually, like I mentioned before, it flowed pretty well. That's generally the way I write. Some of my stories I'll frame with outlines and things like that, but usually I just write and then fix it after, editing.
Have you visualized this as perhaps a series or a movie or something?
Um, yeah, mostly because a lot of people have read it have said, boy, I could see this being on TV, watching this series or this movie. So, yeah, I've thought about it.
Yeah. It would be
Yeah,
wonderful to see the characters and the settings and the magic all brought to life with the
right.
magic of Hollywood, right?
Yep. Yeah,
Yeah.
what? Yeah, and bringing an abbey and things like that. That gives you fantastic scenery and locations and things like that. Yeah.
It could be the next J.K. Rowling. Who knows?
Yeah. You can only hope, right?
Yeah, exactly, exactly. Now, are there more chapters or more books in this story to come?
As a matter of fact, yes,
Oh, great.
I actually just recently finished the first draft of the sequel. So yeah, now comes the hard part. That's doing the
Yeah.
editing and yeah, fixing it up and all that.
The work, the heavy lifting
Yep.
starts now. What is the second story, second book center upon?
So again, the two boys facing an even greater threat. Basically, they're an old nemesis comes and is trying to destroy their source of power, um, and actually does for a short time anyway. So yeah, so now they have to figure it all out without the help of all the magic.
Gotcha, gotcha. Tell me a little bit about some of the other books you've written.
So the biggest one I'm working on is a historical fiction centered around the Civil War,
Mhm.
around the 19th Massachusetts Infantry Regiment. My great grandfather fought in that, so that was the inspiration there. And
Cool.
I'm trying to do a historical fiction retelling of their exploits. I've also written some others that are not published yet. I did one, a fantasy pirate one, and have also been actually working with my son on a series of books as well. That again, not out yet.
Wonderful. Now, the book on the Civil War that takes place in Massachusetts, have you done any field work to check out the terrain in Mass to get some inspiration?
Well, from Massachusetts down to Gettysburg, even on that one. So yeah, I've been doing a lot of that one's like years in the works because that one takes a lot of research. A book like The Brotherhood of the Lion, I can do a little research about the time period and things like that, but the rest of the story is just my imagination.
Yeah.
Not that way with the other story. I have to do a lot of research on that one.
Tell the folks at home what the significance of the title is, The Brotherhood of the Lion.
So basically, a couple of things. Brotherhood obviously comes from the two boys, they're twins, and they recruit basically a lot of other monks from that abbey to assist them, and that becomes the Brotherhood. The lion came in, I guess, with me when I think of that medieval time period in fighting. I think of that lion,
Hmm.
and that is what they ended up using as one of their tools, I guess, to make flaming lions and real lions and things like that with their magic. So between the brotherhood that they had and the brotherhood of something, and the lion was there. It just made most
Absolutely.
sense.
It's a terrific title. It's a terrific book. It is called Brotherhood of the Lion. It is a captivating tale of two orphan boys who are deformed, who go to a magical abbey back in the 11th century, and their lives and their appearances are transformed by magic. It's quite a story. It's a magical tale for sure. Thank you so much for joining us here today, Roger.
Thank you. Thank you very much for having me.
My pleasure. And to the folks at home, I'm Logan Crawford, thanking you for your time this time. Until next time on Spotlight.